Evening. Today I'm going to talk about a library's initiative to serve the rural communities as relates to the findings of information behavior of this user group. So the user group is people living in the rural communities. Specifically, for the purpose of this project, the user group is defined as farmers and other residents of rural areas outside the Strathroy municipality in southwestern Ontario, Canada. Their main produce and source of income come from tobacco and corn crops. The rural residents live in areas around the municipality of Strathroy. Strathroy is a center of business, industries, and government functions. The Strathroy Public Library has long served the residents and surrounding communities. First, let's look at the information behavior, including information need and information seeking behavior of the user group, based on the findings of research in the field. The most important source of information for this group are fellow farmers and markets. In other words, the peers who share their knowledge and expertise, as well as family members, friends, and neighbors, are the primary source of information. On the other side, a very small group, a very part of the group, has chosen library as their main source of information. In fact, in a study of a rural woman in India, only one person out of a sample of 55 respondents chose library as her source of information. So these findings make a strong statement of the importance of traditional channels of communication for rural communities. They value the opinions of the people in their lives and rely very much on interpersonal relationships and verbal communication as ways of getting information. Another consideration of their information behavior is that their information needs mostly arise out of the daily activities of rural life, including raising and selling crops and livestock. So this is in contrast with the urban dwellers. The farmers in the group is mainly concerned with agricultural information. So there are common barriers facing the rural users to obtain information, and these barriers exist in rural areas around the world to varying degrees. Two of the most dominant barriers are technological and transportation barriers. Due to the geographical situation of the rural residents and the fact that public transportation is not available, transportation is a big concern, especially for the elderly members of the group. The elderly members cannot drive in some cases, but their need for entertainment and intellectual materials should not be overlooked. So technological barriers can be multi-layered. A low internet connectivity in rural areas is a deterrent, along with low educational levels for parts of the population in the rural areas. It's especially the case in developing countries. Illiteracy implies that users do not have the necessary skill to search the information system. Some studies have revealed that libraries do not provide materials that interest the users, such as books on music and art. And in some libraries in parts of the world, the libraries are modeled after the Western system, so that in those libraries, they do not contain materials in the local language. So the insufficiency of library material is certainly creating more barriers that keep users away from information organizations and preventing their needs being fulfilled. So taking all this into consideration, the Strathroy Public Library has come up with some strategies that may be workable and provide effective solutions. We'll be looking at the three strategies today. First, the library is launching a mobile service. It's a home delivery service that takes the library resources directly to doorsteps of the rural homes. This mobile service will be especially welcome to the elderly users. The service will take care of all their informational needs. According to the results of interviews with elderly users in a case study in US, the users is interested in many types of resources. A list includes large print books, talking books, local authors, books on crafts and hobbies, and puzzles and games. Another strategy the library can employ is a support phone line. It's a phone line where users can get assistance in an interpersonal manner to find and order materials and get general information. The third strategy takes into consideration the specific information needs of the user group. So we have seen that their everyday activities include agricultural practice. So agricultural literature should be highlighted in the acquisition of new materials. There are many types of information in the agricultural field, from seed varieties, treatment, to adoption of biofertilizers, to planting, harvesting, weather forecasting, marketing, etc. A questionnaire formatted survey will be very helpful and insightful to review the types of resources that are most important to this group. The questionnaire can be given and the results collected from users by phone calls, mails, and even in person when the library staff meets with the user. To make the initiative a success, the library can find and get help from organizations and persons who have the expertise and skills, who are dedicated to make positive changes to the underserved communities, and they will be our champions. As new and improved services are rolled out for the rural residents, public libraries and professionals will serve the community well by continuing to understand their information need and seeking behavior and create a system and service that truly meet the informational needs of the users. And the library will do well by keeping the communication channels open to users and provide resources that reflect the changing needs of the users in a changing society. Thank you for listening. I look forward to your thoughts and inputs. Thank you.